I just recently came back from Chicago. I was attending a coaches clinic sponsored by Nike. One of the primary speakers was Bobby Knight. Regardless of what you think of him, he's one of the best teachers of the game that exists. I've seen him multiple times and each time come away with some great insights. So I want to share what I recently pulled out of the multi-day session with him. I obviously had a ton of notes that I took over those 2 days, but want to really emphasize a couple of those key points. One thing he talked about is what he called disadvantage drills. Things where he'd be going 4 against 5, full court. So whether you had the advantage or were on the disadvantage, you had to really think about what you should best be doing, the right decisions to be making. He said he did that a lot in practice and thought it was really helpful. Another thing he practiced was practicing timeouts during practice. And what he would do is he would, in the middle of practice, call a timeout, take his 2 minutes like you get in college for a TV timeout, and then at the end of that, he'd give them 3x5 cards and have them write down what they remembered from what he said. He said if they couldn't write it down on a 3x5 card in practice, there's no way he wanted them in the game. At the end of the game, if it's just to get those critical situations resolved. Another thing, which he didn't talk about here, but it connects to the third point, he said he's always asked over the years, if you have a 2-hour practice, how much time you spend on offense and how much on defense? His answer to him was, I would spend 2 hours on defense and 2 hours on offense. What he meant was he would take his time and make sure his drills were designed in a way that all the time they were always working on both. You may emphasize one more than the other, but you're always working on both. He says it's most effective use of time. There's really never a time when you're not defended, or when you're playing defense against no offensive player that has the ability to do something with the ball. And so where that kind of comes from is the final point I want to make from Chicago was Coach Knight talked about something I'd never heard of before, but he said you need to look at your practice and see what you can take out that isn't helping you. So many times coaches add things to what they already do and not just forget to take out, but really think about taking out chunks. Coach Knight talked about he believes coaches over-practice and that they need to back off in the amount of time they spend practicing. And whether it's business or basketball, his attention to detail with practicing the timeout and thinking about your efficiency and how to best use the resources you have. And the disadvantage stuff, whether you have the advantage or on the disadvantage, how it changes your strategy and how you need to think about it. You just can't blindly charge ahead. I think they're really applicable points to both basketball and to business. If you like that approach and some of that philosophy for managing projects or for coaching, give a call and we'll see if we can help you out.